Okay, George, I'd like you to introduce yourself.
Sure. My name is George Henderson. I'm the National Director of Fundraising for the Canadian Liver Foundation, and I've been with the organization about 2 years.
And what does the Liver Foundation do?
Like most charitable health-related organizations, our main focus is raising funds to support medical research and also to provide public education and awareness programs relative to liver disease. Those are the key factors that we try and meet in our mission through our volunteer network. We have about 30 chapters across the country that deliver these programs.
Now, what is liver disease? Is it one disease or is it many?
It's many. Unfortunately, there are over 100 different forms of liver disease. Most people will be familiar with the hepatitis form. Hepatitis is liver disease, of course, but the alphabet of hepatitis, A, B, C, D, and E, and I believe there are some possibilities that we may get up to F and G. But liver disease has many different forms. It affects all ages, women and men, and has no pattern in terms of young or old. It seems to strike just about anybody is potentially a candidate to become a liver patient. Their estimates that I have seen suggest there are over 2 million Canadians who are directly affected by liver disease. Statistics that we relate to suggest that at some point in their life, 1 in 12 Canadians will be affected by liver disease. And unfortunately, at the present time, it's the 4th leading cause of death as a result of disease in Canada. So it has a major impact on Canadians and their families.
If that's the case, why do you think liver disease doesn't seem to be as high profile in the public mind as AIDS or cancer?
It's a good question. Certainly we'd like to have a higher recognition factor. I think it's in part a factor of our age. While we're almost 30 years old, as an organization, our programs have really been focused at the national level for the last 20 years. It's 25 years. It's really only been in the last 5 to 6 years that the Foundation has invested in the development of a chapter network across the country. We have about 30 chapters, as I mentioned. And I think the impact of the disease, while it does affect many Canadians, until you have a grassroots community organization that's a presence in most communities, it's difficult to have your message presented in the sea of other messages that are out there. I think also some of the diseases you mentioned have the benefit of some very high-profile individuals as volunteers who are associated with them, and unfortunately they've also seen some very well-known celebrities who have been impacted directly by the disease. So I think all of those things are factors that put us in a position where perhaps the recognition level of liver disease or the problem is not as well known as certainly those of us involved in the liver control movement would like to see.
Now, I've heard liver disease described as the hidden disease. Why do you think people would want to hide it?
Well, in many cases, unfortunately, one of the myths that most people seem to accept is that liver disease is related to alcoholism. And I think in many cases, because of that accepted myth, and it is a myth because liver disease, there's a cirrhosis of the liver or scarring of the liver is one, but alcoholic cirrhosis is one of the 100 different forms, and it is not a major cause. So I think the stigma associated with if you have liver disease, you must be alcoholic, is part of the reason that many people are reluctant to speak about it. Depending on the type of liver disease, also the way in which it has been acquired is also a difficult one for many people to relate to and speak to publicly.
Now, why is this walk that George Marcello is doing important?
Well, it's important to us because George wants to do it. He is coming forward as a volunteer, as he has done in the past. He is presenting himself to the public as a person who is not reluctant to speak about his liver disease and the successful transplant that he has enjoyed. So that third-party special events, as we refer to them, or individuals or groups coming to us wanting to do something on our behalf, is very attractive to a volunteer-based organization, because it means essentially they are responsible for organizing the funding and all the various logistics associated with carrying forward their fundraising program. We will do our best to provide support and assistance through our chapter network as he travels across the country, but essentially it's a program that is delivered to us intact and organized and presented by George and those who are prepared to support him. The other key factor that we're very interested in is George is very strongly committed to communicating publicly, improving awareness about liver disease and the things that individuals can do to protect themselves. So anyone who is prepared to support our fundraising activities and certainly prepared to support our public education and awareness messages is someone that we are happy to be associated with. And that's why, as I say, this special event that George is planning is important to us for those reasons.
Now, can you comment at all on how George will be raising public awareness about liver disease?
Well, I think certainly it is his intention, wherever he may be, as he travels across the country, to speak publicly and to the media in terms of why he's doing what he's doing and his experience with liver disease. So that's my understanding of how he plans to help us create greater awareness and understanding.
Why is raising money for the Liver Foundation important?
Well, it's the fuel that drives everything.
Could you just start again and say money is, or
okay. Sure. Money is what drives all of our operations. We're fortunate to have volunteer support and resources, and that allows us to deliver many programs at cost in a very cost-effective manner. But there's no question that the production of printed materials, the presentation of a staff structure, opening of offices, all of the normal business expenses that one would anticipate and see in a for-profit business are also there in a not-for-profit. So our ability to deliver any program, our ability to continue to promote public education, medical research, is driven by the dollar, and that's why fundraising is a cardinal responsibility of all our volunteers, and certainly one that drives our ability to expand our programs.
Now, if you're trying to convince an individual to donate money to the Liver Foundation, what would be their incentive?
Well, in the case of all charitable transactions, really there is nothing that they will directly benefit from. We do produce a receipt, tax receipt for their income tax purposes, but my experience is that individuals are not driven by the fact that they're going to get a tax receipt. They're motivated by having personal experience with the disease, by knowing someone who has been touched by liver disease, and it is their desire to change things, to make things different, to improve the opportunities for liver patients in the future that we hope is the motivation that leads them to support our annual campaign for funds.